Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we're going to react to why P. Diddy feared Tupac. We all know why. Because Pac was a real one. Let's be real about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real about it. P. Diddy ain't want no smoke with no real one because P. Diddy ain't no real one. A real one ran up on P. Diddy, he would run. See, he up here smacking around J. Cole and Drake and shit, smacking them up and shit. He wouldn't do that shit to Pop. He for damn sure wouldn't do that shit to Biggie. When the Locks ran up on him, he was running for cover. When Mace was talking greasy to him, he was nowhere to be found. He was talking shit from afar. Because he know Cam. They don't call him Killer Cam for nothing. They don't call him not Cam, but Mace. Mace, my bad, Mace. They don't call him Murder Mace for nothing. Come on now. So what you think he gonna do if he run up on Pac? Pac gonna beat that ass. But anyway, so we gonna get right into this. And also, shout out to Music Vibe. They show love from the channel. We gonna show love back. So make sure you go subscribe to Music Vibe. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
Some even speculated Combs was involved in Tupac's death. He denies that.
It was hurtful. Extremely hurtful. It was so.
Yeah, it was extremely hurtful how you set him up.
You can't trust him. Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
We know it. We know it, 50.
In this way, 50 Cent is making fun of Puff Daddy, and he wrote the following in a post. Hashtag no puffy juice. He killed your favorite rapper. This is his reaction to the release of a documentary called Murder Rap, inside the Biggie and Tupac murders. In the documentary, it is claimed that Puff Daddy gave Crips gang member Keefe D $1 million to kill Tupac and Suge Knight, who was recently arrested.
The day you put on a hit, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, think a Pac kill, eh?
And these are Eminem's lines from the Kill Shot track. Joe Budden recounted how Puffy reacted to it.
Puff said it's in his hands, and he said I can say it. And that's the end of that.
Have fun with that one.
He said, there's nothing to say about it. It's in my hands.
Even Suge Knight gets angry at people who think that he killed Tupac. But
bitch ass Puffy can give him a mother star, and every rat in the world said he didn't want to kill Tupac. Yeah, had him shot.
And now, after the arrest of Keefe D, who said that Puff Daddy offered him $1 million to murder
Because
Tupac,
it never made sense to me. How would Suge be the one that set Pac up and he got shot too? Because if Suge died in that car with Pac, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. I feel like a lot of shit would have been different if Suge died in that car as well. I'm not wishing death upon Suge. I'm just saying I think a lot of shit would have changed. Like Death Row, we don't know what the fuck would have happened with Death Row. Oh my God. Especially around that time, considering the fact that Dre was gone. Nigga, and then you got Death Row without Suge. Oh man, everybody here. I already know it, bro. Snoop probably wouldn't be as big as he is right now. Shit, ain't no telling what the fuck would have happened if Suge died in that car with Tupac. That would have been, man, the chain of events that would have happened. Biggie would probably still be alive right now, probably.
Many raised the question, will Puff Daddy face charges? Let's look into what exactly happened between Pac and Puff Daddy.
They got
At the beginning, they were good friends. This could be understood from one particular moment. When Biggie prepared his album, Ready to Die, Biggie worried he could miss his shot, considering that the new label he was signed to, Bad Boy, owned by his manager Sean Puffy Combs, hadn't taken off yet. Things weren't happening for him quickly enough, he complained. He asked Tupac to take over as his manager, in hopes Tupac could advance his music and film career as rapidly as he'd done his own. Tupac rejected the offer and told him that he has to be in Bad Boy Records and that Puff Daddy will make him a star.
Biggie and Tupac were street buddies.
Yeah, I think it was because Pac was like, man, you gotta You gotta have faith in those who have faith in you. I think that's really what Pac was trying to tell Big. Like, yo, have faith in niggas that got faith in you, bro. Cause he got a lot of faith in you, bro. So you need to stick with him, bro. Cause when things pop off, I don't want to be in between you and him and all that shit. So it's like, look, just stick with him. You know, it's moving slow right now, but trust and believe. He believe in you more than anybody else do. So just stick with him. I'm pretty sure that's what Pac told him.
Biggie called Tupac Duke. Tupac called Biggie Christopher.
But all good things eventually come to an end. Tupac was one day in New York, heading to Quad Recording Studios. Tupac got contacted by Jimmy Henchman, a known associate of Haitian Jack, to appear on a Little Sean song, an artist he represented. And that very night, Big was in the studio with Junior Mafia. They were working on the song Player's Anthem. Lil Cease was smoking on the balcony when he spotted Tupac. After that, he returned to the studio where he told Biggie that he saw their friend. Biggie said that they should invite him over. He went to meet up with Pac, and when he went downstairs, he saw Tupac with his friends lying on the ground. Two robbers aimed weapons at them and told them to go back into the elevator. They went upstairs and Lil Cease told Biggie that they were robbed. When they returned, he was lying there covered in blood. Tupac said the crew looked surprised and guilty, but Puffy claimed they showed him nothing but love and concern. He blamed the robbery on Jimmy Henchman, Haitian Jack, and of course, Puffy and Biggie. Pac was disappointed that he was set up by his own friend.
Trust nobody.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in.
Facts.
My closest friends, my homies, people who I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything. Turned on them.
Yeah, asked my man if he could roll him a blunt. You know what I'm saying? We asked him if he's all right. He's just like, yeah, I'm all right. I don't know what's going on. And we just there trying to comfort him. Andre Harrell went and made sure he was calling the ambulance.
In an interview for Vibe magazine, Puffy said, "Why would I set a guy up to get shot?" says Puffy. "If I'm gonna set a guy up, which I would never do, I ain't gonna be in the country. I'm gonna be in Bolivia somewhere. He ain't mad at the brothers that shot him. He knows where they're at. He knows who shot him. If you ask him, he knows. And everybody in the street knows. And he's not stepping to them because he knows that he's not gonna get away with that shit. To me, that's some real sucker shit. Be mad at everybody, man. Don't be using brothers as scapegoats. We know that he's a nice guy from New York. All shit aside, Tupac is a nice, good-hearted guy."
But see, then y'all do this though. See, that's the problem. See, this is why I keep bringing this up, bro. The more I dig into this Biggie and Tupac shit, the more I start to see why Pac was in his feelings, bro. Cause y'all was doing this shit. How y'all gonna sit up here and say, we ain't got nothing to do with it, but then you put this song out there. You put this song out there into the atmosphere. Around the time Pac got shot. So come on, bro. What is we really saying, bro? Come on, dog. I take Pac's side on everything, bro. Because everything that went on, bro, I take Pac's side, bro. Because I'm starting to see it now, bro. I see why Pac was mad at Biggie. It wasn't even over the fact that he got shot. Like Pac said it himself, it's not even about him getting shot. It's about him telling him what happened. Biggie and them knew something. And they not telling him. And Pac knew that they wasn't going to tell him. That's why he went after him. It wasn't because he got shot. It's because they knew something about the situation. And they weren't telling him about it. Like, if y'all really go back and listen to all the interviews that Pac did, I'm gonna start putting some Tupac interviews. We're gonna start reacting to some Tupac interviews, bro. And y'all gonna see what I've seen and what I understand about the situation. Pac was really mad because they knew something that he didn't know. And they wasn't telling him information that he needed to know. So it wasn't the fact that, so to Diddy, I say this. It wasn't the fact that he was afraid to go after them dudes. It's the fact that he didn't know who was all involved. He was trying to figure it all out. He knew who who the head honchos were in the setup, but he wanted to know who else was involved, because you got to remember one of his homeboys was involved in setting him up as well. If we remember clearly, Pac had some homies in Thug Life that set him up. So you got to look at it from that perspective too. He needed to know all the names, everybody. Who else knew? Because they in New York. They know everything. They know these cats. They hear things around the way. You in New York. So you should know something. Tell me what I need to know. That's all Pac wanted, but they never gave him the information. And they let that man rot in jail. Never went to visit him or nothing. So you know, and instead they was out here letting this song on the radio. This song was all over the radio while Pac in jail. What you think Pac gonna do? Come on, man.
This song only worsened the relationship between Biggie and Pac. And of course, it involves Puffy.
Everybody in the world know that record was done way before that, so definitely wasn't about Tupac and the Quad situation.
According to Napoleon from Outlaws, releasing Who Shot Ya at a bad time was Puffy's decision to respond at Pac for accusing Bad Boy Records for his attempted murder in New York.
Even though it can take people's lives, or people might lose lives, but I'm gonna get rich. Put it out.
Your label dropped a song, Who Shot Ya? Who the fuck is supposed to be about, bruh? Keep it a buck.
Facts.
Next, there was the scandalous Source Awards, when Suge flew out to pay Tupac a visit, who was at the time already in prison. It was then that Pac told Suge, I need you to ride with me because I'm going to destroy Bad Boy Records. I believe they had something to do with me getting shot.
Between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out. It was gonna go ahead about my life.
After when Pac was released from prison, he released the track Ambitions as a Rider, in which he claimed that when he was in prison, he was receiving letters requesting him to cover up the beef with Bad Boy Records. However, he was thirsty for revenge. Next, a fight took place in Atlanta between Death Row and Bad Boy Records, in which Suge Knight's friend Big Jake was killed. The media actively reported that the killer is someone from Puff Daddy's circle. When Puffy was asked about this incident in an interview, he sucked his teeth in frustration. Here's what happens, he said. I went to Atlanta with my son. At that time, there wasn't really no drama. I didn't even have bodyguards, so that's a lie that I did. I left the club, and I'm waiting for my limo, talking to girls. I don't see Suge go into the club. We don't make any contact or nothing like that. He gets into a beef in the club with some brothers. I knew the majority of the club, but I don't know who he got into the beef with, what it was over, or nothing like that. All I heard is that he took beef at the bar. I see people coming out, I see a lot of people that I know, I see him, and I see everybody yelling and screaming and shit. I get into the limo and I go to him like, what's up? You all right? I'm trying to see if I can help him. That's my motherfucking problem, Puffy said, pounding his fist into his palm in frustration. I'm always trying to see if I can help somebody. Anyways, I get out facing him and I'm like, what's going on? What's the problem? Then I hear shots ringing out. We turn around and someone's standing right behind me. His man, God bless the dead, gets shot and he's on the floor. My back was turned. I could have got shot. He could have got shot. Right then, he was like, I think you had something to do with this. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was standing right here with you. I really felt sorry for him. The sense that if he felt that way, he was showing me his insecurity.
And then Suge was like, yo, you all right? And Puffy was there. Then all of a sudden I saw Suge. Pow! Smacked the dog out of Puffy.
But he did grab him by his collar and was blaming Puffy that night.
After the Atlanta shooting, people on both coasts began speculating. Would there be retribution? All-out war? According to a New York Times Magazine cover story, Puffy sent Louis Farrakhan's son Mustafa to talk with Suge. Puffy says he did not send Mustafa, but did tell him, if there's anything you can do to put an end to this bullshit, I'm with it. However, it is reported that Suge refused to meet with Mustafa because he was pissed off at Puffy. At one of the death row parties, a person from Bad Boy Records showed up. him and Pac nearly beat a guy to death in hope of finding out where his boss is. And the most gruesome part of that is they forced him to drink urine.
He might have got a few punches, and he probably drunk about 20 shots of piss. You know what I mean? Literally.
Tupac gave an interview to a journalist from New York called Angie Martinez. The world never got the chance to see that interview. As Napoleon says, this interview is the raw version of Hit 'Em Up. In the interview, Pac said enough things that could get him sentenced to prison again, as he wasn't really himself at the time. He also went after Bad Boy Records and everyone else. For that reason, it was decided that the interview would not be released, so as not to add fuel to the fire.
I need to read. We need to watch that one.
Version from Gene Deal as to why the interview was never released.
Damn, why this nigga sweating?
Words of the ex-bodyguard of Bad Boy Records, Puffy requested that it doesn't get released.
So Puffy, he did hear that Tupac interview.
Why would you try to stop something if you ain't heard it? Why would you try to stop something if you didn't hear it?
Angie Martinez herself admitted in an interview that Biggie and Puffy were angry with her.
They upset with you. You're from New York, the voice of New York. You going out there to interview Tupac. Huh?
No, they didn't love it. Yeah, they didn't love it. It took me and Big a minute. I'm so happy that we got to a better place after, because Big didn't love it. He never told me, but somebody else told me.
Tupac made the decision to write his legendary diss track, Hit 'Em Up, in which he said this phrase at the end of the track.
Now you tell me who won.
I see them, they run.
Here, the Soul Train Awards, which took place in 1996. This was the first meeting between Tupac and Biggie after Tupac survived the robbery. Pac won the award for Best Album of the Year, but he was unable to pick up his award as the organizers of the event feared there would be a clash with Bad Boy Records. As Suge Knight says, him and Tupac had a plan to run on stage when Biggie shows up on stage.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my management, Puff Daddy, the whole label, and Aaron stuff.
Pac saw Biggie, got out of his car, and called him a fat bastard. And then a fight broke out after Pac pointed his gun at Biggie. And the most important thing about the story is how Puffy behaved during the altercation, as recounted by Reggie Wright Jr.
One thing I can say about Biggie Small, nigga didn't run. He was just standing there. I saw Puffy run under and hid under a car.
Ran away even before the confrontation.
Bitch ass
nigga. Something that will seriously surprise you.
I'm a businessman. I'm about making money, but something gotta change. I don't give a fuck if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change. I said, yo, he sure did. He said, yeah. He said, Big gotta die? He said, yo, he said Big.
For that reason, Pac said the following in a diss track.
They don't want to see us.
One of
They don't want
Keith's
to see
friends
us.
went to a mall where he came across their rival gang. They started beating him up, but then help arrived.
My folk make sure all y'all kids don't grow
him up in return and took a chain with the Death Row logo on it. Orlando Anderson was present in that fight. Napoleon claims that a rumor circulated at that time that Puffy was willing to pay $10,000 to anyone who would steal a Death Row chain.
Yeah, when he was alive, we was hearing that's the reason why they tried to snatch that chain, is because it was a bounty on the chain saying if you snatch the chain, bring it back to us, we will give this amount of money.
Overthrow the government y'all got right now, which is Bad Boy and Nas and all that bullshit, and we will bring a new government here that will feed every person in New York.
Further, after the Mike Tyson fight, one of the people from Death Row's side who took part in that fight at the mall saw Orlando and told Pac about it. Pac, without hesitating, went after him to revenge his comrade. A few hours later, Pac was murdered. Later, in Tupac's post-mortem album, The Dawn Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, in the Against All Odds track, he went after Puffy once again.
Let's be honest, you a punk or you would see me with gloves. Remember that shit you said, the vibe about me being a thug?
Here, Pac talks about an interview where Puffy said, I hope that his thug life shit is really over. But on the real, if you gonna be a motherfucking thug, you gots to live and die a thug. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no jumping in and out of thugism. If that's what you choose to do, you gots to go out like that. I ain't no thug. Only thugs I know is dead or in jail, or about to be. After his death, there was one more moment that took place that will surprise you. According to Deal, Diddy was at an awards ceremony where he thought he had a chance to win Producer of the Year. Shortly before the ceremony started, he said Diddy took one of the pictures on their table and peed in it. Kidada Jones, Quincy Jones' daughter and Tupac's love interest at the time, soon wandered over to Diddy's table, struck up a conversation during which she nearly drank the urine in the pitcher. She allegedly invited him to a party.
Did Puffy see her about to drink out that bottle, yo? He wasn't trying to stop her? He was going to let her drink out that bottle like that?
Yeah, no, I ain't stopping.
She was clearly very devastated by Tupac's murder.
I tell you, I could not get a word out. I couldn't leave my house. And then I harbored a lot of anger towards my dad because he wasn't there.
A long while later, Puffy recalled what his reaction was when he heard "Hit 'Em Up."
I had to make the call to Biggie, and I said, we're not going to respond. Somebody's going to get hurt if we respond. I mean, I never felt the way with "Hit 'Em Up. You know what I'm saying? I never felt a way with it because I really laughed at it, the way I was portrayed in the video. I saw the fun in it. You know, I'm not going to play it at my birthday party.
Right, yeah.
And after the release of the documentary that claimed that he ordered the killing of Tupac, he responded with a rather unconvincing answer.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense.
It ain't nonsense,
What do you
nigga.
think about the conflict between Pac and Puffy? And will Puffy be charged with the murder? Let us know in the comments.
He better get charged. Shit, somebody gotta. Nah, nigga, this beef ain't done with, bro. This beef is almost over 30 years old. This beef is almost over 30 years. Is almost close to 40 years old. Somebody gotta. Nah, Chief. We ain't just gonna let Pac and Biggie die and the niggas that did the killing get away with it. Nah, nigga. Somebody gotta go to jail, bro. And if it's gotta be Diddy, then it's gotta be Diddy. Shit, it is what it is. Anyways, though, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Still, we RIP to Pac, man. RIP to Big. RIP to all of them, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that lost their life to this beef, man. RIP, man. Justice for Tupac. Hopefully it gets served eventually, man. We need closure on that. The world needs closure on that. For real. Other than that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.